Let me ruin the Quran for you. It all started around 610 CE when a 40-year-old man in Arabia goes into a cave and comes back saying the archangel Gabriel told him every other religion messed up and he was chosen by God to fix it. He's terrified, runs home thinking he's losing it, and his wife and Christian cousin reassure him, No, you are for sure a messenger of God and you are not having a hallucination. So for the next 23 years, he says the angel continues to deliver revelations. At this moment in time, Arabia was crowded with poets and soothsayers delivering inspired rhythmic speech, and monotheistic mystics who rejected idols and claimed insight into the God of Abraham. Muhammad's teachings begin as an apocalyptic preaching movement. Judgment Day, Hellfire, Resurrection. Muhammad declared that after you die, you're sent across a judgment bridge. Righteous people walk across, but if you're wicked, the bridge becomes razor thin and you drop into fire. Pretty diabolical. But let's note that this setup has been around for centuries from Persian Zoroastrians. Then Muhammad starts retelling stories from Hebrew scripture. The first of which is Adam and his wife, except now the villain is a fire demon named Iblis instead of a snake. God tells all the angels to bow to Adam. Iblis says, absolutely not. I'm made of fire. He's made of dirt. I'm not bowing to a mud man. God boots him from heaven, and Iblis swears eternal revenge on messing with humanity forever. Then there's Noah and the flood, one of the first stories humans ever recorded that predates the Bible and shows up in the Epic of Gilgamesh. Prophets really love a plot where ignoring them gets everyone drowned. My favorite retelling is about Joseph, a man so fine that people physically lose motor control when they see him. His brothers throw him into a well and fake his death. His dad cries so hard he goes blind. Joseph gets sold into Egyptian slavery, gets harassed by a noblewoman who invites her friends over so they can also freak out and accidentally slice their hands open while staring at him. He refuses her, so he's sent to prison. There he interprets dreams and saves Egypt from famine. He goes on to forgive his brothers and heals his dad's blindness with his shirt. Life is hard for the beautiful. Then comes Moses. Same general Exodus story, baby in a basket, just like the ancient propaganda story of the world's first emperor, Sargon of Akkad. He's adopted into Pharaoh's house, kills a man, meets God in a bush, turns sticks into snakes, splits the sea, Pharaoh drowns, and the Qur'an adds a side quest where a mystery prophet kills a kid for future crimes, which raises questions. The new improved version of Solomon talks to animals, commands armies of jinn, flies on the wind, and runs demon construction crews. This was very similar to Jewish folklore circulating at the time. In the Jesus story, the town people are accusing Mary of being a hoe, and baby Jesus speaks up from the cradle like, I'm the prophet, y'all need to chill. He also makes clay birds come to life, straight from the early Christian Gospel of Thomas. Next, we meet the two-horned traveler who aligns with myths told about Alexander the Great. He travels to the ends of the world and builds a giant iron wall to trap hordes of wicked people until the apocalypse. Around 621 CE, Muhammad describes a night journey in which Gabriel wakes him, has him ride a magical flying donkey lady to Jerusalem, and then escorts him through 7 heavens to meet earlier prophets. At the top, God tells him people must pray 50 times a day. Moses says, that's insane, go negotiate. They haggle it down to 5, and he's back in time for breakfast. After the death of Muhammad's first wife, his life enters a period of major transition. Until then, he was mostly a powerless preacher in Mecca, living a monogamous life. He soon married a widow to manage his household and was later betrothed to 6-year-old Aisha, cementing a political alliance for the growing movement. In 622 CE, Muhammad is invited to Medina to help stabilize a city torn apart by tribal conflict. Within 2 years, he emerges as Medina's central authority, arbitrating disputes and issuing binding legal rulings across the community. But a couple years later, Muhammad's movement becomes militarized, and his teachings shift accordingly. After Muhammad wins one battle and then struggles in another, alliances fall apart. Tensions rise with the Jewish tribes living in the city. One tribe is kicked out, then another is forced into exile. Finally, in 627, after a major siege, the last Jewish tribe surrenders, and men are beheaded. The women don't make out well either. The Qur'an explicitly permits sleeping with enslaved women, including those taken captive in war. It's also revealed to Muhammad that he is allowed unlimited wives while limiting other men to 4. He also fathers a son with his concubine Maria and marries a girl whose father and husband had been killed by his soldiers. The marriage I can't get past is Aisha's. According to her own accounts in early hadith, the marriage was consummated when she was 9 and Muhammad was around 50. Ugh. I fact-checked this several times, hoping it wasn't true. Muhammad died in Aisha's arms in 632 CE. His wives were forbidden from remarrying, and Aisha went on to lead armies and preserve his legacy for the rest of her life. Because Muhammad couldn't read or write, the Quran was first preserved by oral tradition, then written down and compiled after his death. It's meant to be recited. Its rhythm and repetition make it easy to memorize, hard to forget, and effective at embedding ideas through sound and ritual. And that's not blasphemy, that's history.